Welcome to Coaches United, and today I have with me Mr. John Weiman, sorry, Mr. John Weiman with the founder of LifeBridge Coaching. And I want to thank you, John, for accepting my invitation to speaking to the group today.
Have I ever said no to you, Adele?
You haven't. You have been an amazing person, just gentleman, sport throughout the whole time that I've known you, which has been a brief time, but it's been an exciting ride. And I know like the future is going to entail a lot more excitement because you are just a phenomenal relationship coach. And the conversations that we've had have been quite incredible. And
thank you.
literally, I've used some of your advice in my own personal relationships, which I'm grateful to you for.
Well, I have to confess, I'm a little pro-woman. There's a lot of data that makes it work, but I'm a little pro-woman.
And we love that you are.
Yes. She's right. Joe, she's right. Works well.
So John, tell us what got you into coaching?
Years ago, I'm that old. I like to say, like when Washington was president, I worked with one of the best literally in the world, a guy by the name of Dr. James Masterson. And I worked in a long-term psychiatric hospital. And at the time I was known as a rec therapist, which I've come to learn, and recreational therapists would be insulted that I say this, but it's kind of like a gym teacher for the population, for the patient population. So that's an easy way to say it. But I worked with Dr. Masterson for 9 years. He asked me to intern for him. And the reason he did, I'd like to tell you that I was really smart, Adele. I'd like to tell you that, this guy was one of the best in the world, and he picked me. Well, I wish that were true. What happened is when he came to instruct the psychiatrists, psychologists, social workers, rec therapists, art therapists, all of us on his training and what his theory was, he specialized in narcissistic personality disorder and borderline personality disorder. And so I was telling my mom, who was a therapist, and also the person right behind me, she was the third Nike poster ever.
Nice.
And yep. And by the way, she's over my shoulder for a reason. If I ever say anything smart, it's coming from her, not me. So,
that's a good one.
Yeah. So I one day I told him, I said, Mom, this real famous guy's coming to, teach at the hospital. And she said, who? And I said, Dr. James Masterson. And she said, oh, you know him. And at the time I was going to school full time, working full time, working part time, and I was engaged. So I said, Mom, I'm not hitting the books as well as I should. No, I don't know who he is. I never heard of him. She said, yes, you do. I said, no, I don't, Mom. Really, I'm sorry. I got to study more. And she said, who was your best friend growing up? I'm like, what are you talking about? When? And she said, in elementary school. I said, Mom, why are you changing the subject? Please, come on. Just, I don't know this guy, all right? She said, just answer the question. I said, it was Jimmy. We played together every day. And she said, that's his dad. So I went, oh, okay. So I guess that night.
John, we lost your sound. We lost your sound. You're back.
Back, okay.
Yes.
I saw that panic look. So anyway, I walked into his first lecture a little late, and I got a lot of mean stares from everyone. And all of a sudden, from the front of the office, Dr. Masterson says, John Weiman, how are you? Because mom had called him. And I said, I'm doing well, Dr. Masterson. How about you? How's Jimmy doing? And he said, doing well. And he asked me if I'd like to get a cup of coffee after. I did, and we talked. And he said, "How do you like to intern for me?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'd love to." So I worked for him for 9 years. And during that time, I got married
Mm-hmm.
and I was on my way, to getting my PhD.
Mm-hmm.
Life was good. And I will tell you, I was married originally for 14 years. Um, and I lied every single day in my marriage.
Ooh.
I always said what she wanted to hear instead of what I truly felt.
Yeah.
And one of the defining moments was, as I told you, and I'll tell everyone that is watching this, everyone has a story and everyone has a dream.
Mm-hmm.
And if you mess with either one of them, you end up talking to me.
I love it.
Oh, it's so true.
Yeah.
And my wife comes to me and says, "I want to have kids." And in my head, and I'll say exactly what I thought in my head was, what are you, fucking stupid? What are you talking about? Can't you see what we have going on here? Just a couple years, that's it. We'll be set for life. The Masterson Institute's known throughout the world.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't say that. I said, okay, let's have kids.
Mm.
And I don't regret that at all. I have two sons, and but the next part of the conversation was, well, you realize we can't live in New York anymore,
Mm-hmm.
and we're gonna have to, move, and you're gonna have to quit the hospital.
Uh-huh.
So it was my dream. My mom and I used to have these incredible conversations about the field, and one of the things she said that always stuck with me, and honestly, I've been doing this about 10 years now, and
Mm-hmm.
it never really clicked with me.
Mm-hmm.
She said, "John, you have a gift. You see people."
Mm-hmm.
So literally, in what I do with clients is I use the term "hear it through their eyes."
Yeah.
And so if a couple's struggling, and I said, "Okay, you're worried about walking in the door. Okay, so take me on that ride home."
Mm-hmm.
And at what point in the day do you start to worry, oh God, what are we going to fight about tonight, or something like that? And sometimes they say, well, right after lunch. Or I think about it as soon as I leave in the morning. I had someone last night say that. And I describe what I'm hearing, and
Mm-hmm.
usually they're like, yeah, that's exactly what I'm feeling. Like when you're knocking at the door, when you're putting your key in the door, what's that feeling? Anxiety. So anyway, that line for 14 years,
Mm-hmm.
it came to a head, I guess. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't working.
Yeah.
And what I'm ashamed of is I can forgive myself for the lying. That
Mm-hmm.
took a lot of work for my own therapy. And
Yeah.
um, what I think I'll never be able to forgive myself for is I took away her choice. She wasn't married to me. She was
Mm.
married to the lie. And
Oh.
during that time of divorce, I basically, well, divorce happened. My mom had an incredible battle with cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And the close friend I ever had got killed in a car crash. So my mom died, divorced, and my friend died.
Wow.
I went on a road where I ate too much, slept too much, and drank too much. And that was 15 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And ended up, well, 14 years ago. Went into the emergency room because I had a little bit of like stomach pain. It's just nothing. I thought they'd give me a pill and leave. And they sat me down and they told me, John, you're in complete liver failure. You keep doing what you're doing, you'll be dead in 2 months.
Oh, that's shocking. Like,
And I stopped immediately and began to get on a healthier path.
mm-hmm.
Proud to say 8 months ago, I had a liver transplant, and
Mm-hmm.
that and life's good. Walking about anywhere between 5 and 10 miles a day. Today was a little cold, so I only did 6 so far. um, so, but as I got on this path and started to get healthier again,
Mm-hmm.
I met my wife Sherry,
Yeah.
and during our early date conversations and everything, I'd tell her that, basically like, well, I fucked up my marriage and I've always loved this field, and why don't I, and I wanted to go back into it. It kept pulling me. And in my divorce, I gave up everything. And when I say everything, I mean everything. I didn't want my kids to suffer.
Right.
So gave up the house, everything. And the drinking, and that ended. I didn't give up the drinking at the time. I continued to drink, but life started to go downhill, and I faced eviction 38 months in a row.
Oh my.
I sold my car so I wasn't evicted. I passed out coupons for TGI Fridays.
Wow.
Things were bad. So, but as I met Sherry, and I told her about this, and went to the Gottman Institute and completed my pretty extensive training. And it sucked. It absolutely sucked, because I was the stupidest man alive. Because I completed my training. I lived in a room in a house paying $400, because that's basically what I could afford. And so I'm talking to Sherry. I said, I can't believe how stupid I am for this. I'm all ready to do this, and I can't afford an office. I mean, this sucks. And we were dating at the time, Adele, dating. And she said, well, why don't you just use my living room? Got a really nice house. And I'm like, what? And the New York me came out, and I said, like, do you realize you're going to have couples come into your house? You don't know, and they don't like each other. And it's not going to be good. And she said, yeah, I understand that. We'll put up 2 doors and make it private for you. And, that you'll be able to do your work. And I was shocked. And I asked her, why would you do such a thing? Why would you do that? And she said, I'll never forget it. It's why I'm married to her. She said, it's your dream. I want you to have your dream. And, that was about 10 years ago. And now there's this app, Thumbtack, I use to get my clients. And anyone's welcome to check it. I'm the highest rated in the country. And I, what I take very seriously, I do joke around a lot, as you know. But we're talking about their lives. And a lot of times we're talking not only their lives, we're talking about their kids' lives. And I tell my couples that I work with that, I say, the husband, you're not my client. And I say, the wife, you're not my client. My client is your kids. That's who I answer to.
Oh, I love that. And
it's the best gift you can give your kids is a good marriage, a good relationship. It doesn't matter. That's the best thing you can give them. And, one of the things I do, I ask couples 4 questions. And the key question I ask is, growing up the way you did, mom and dad together or not, however that was, what did you bring to the relationship that negatively affected this relationship? Own it. What did you bring? I don't need to hear about mom and dad. I need to know what you brought. And the other one can't answer. You have to answer. And as they answer those questions, and that question primarily, one of my responses is, and it's happened, you never want your kid on that couch answering that question. You don't want them talking about, well, mom and dad were this way. And so that, it's an interesting thing. I don't follow the 50-minute model. I charge per session, not per hour. I encourage every couple I deal with, you want to set the record? It's 5 hours, 14 minutes. Have at it. Go ahead.
I love it.
So I want them to walk out better than they walked in.
Nice.
So that's basically my background. So
It-
fire away.
It's
Come
incredible.
on, talk about Adele.
Well, you certainly shared a lot with us in that. And I know in our previous call, which I would love to get us to do the role play that you did with me the other day, which I found exciting, and I know the viewers are gonna love this.
Okay, good. I look forward to it.
A lot of laughs. This is fun, and more than all of that put together, the fun and everything, it is eye-opening and extremely valuable knowledge.
Okay. You we're gonna do it wrong. You want me to do it wrong the first time?
As raw as you want. We're gonna
I'm
go
gonna do it
as raw
wrong.
as you
I'm gonna
want.
do
I'm
it
open,
wrong.
and I know the viewers are open to anything here too.
All right. You pick the topic you want to talk about, and whatever it is, the house, the car, what trip you want to do, I don't care. You go ahead. Anything.
Okay. You know what?
And if you want, you can call me Poopsie.
Let's do a trip, a vacation trip. I like that.
Wait. Oh, this is great. Wow. Oh God. This TikTok's great. What did you say? Can't you see I'm doing something? God, what? There you go, wanting to spend money again. Why can't we just hang out here?
Well, because I think it would be nice to go out and get away from the house for a week or so.
You know, why? You're never satisfied. No, why? All right, fine, we'll go. Where do you want to go?
Oh, I would love to go to Australia.
I was thinking McDonald's.
Love you.
Like a trip, go out to dinner. Like, why Australia? I mean, do you realize how far away that is? You realize that and how often we fight? We're going to be 24 hours away, and I got nowhere to go to when you pull your bullshit. Are you kidding me?
Well, I think maybe a change of scenery might get us in a better attitude.
Yeah, how'd that happen on the Jersey Shore? You remember the fight we had in front of 100 people?
Yeah.
I was, this is good. Oh, this is great. Wow.
Well, honey, we're having a conversation about taking
the Knicks play tonight. All right. Oh, that's cool. All right. Oh, it's good. Oh, good. All right. What'd you say?
Well, you're obviously putting more attention to that phone than you are about our vacation.
Well, maybe the phone's nicer to me. You ever think about that?
Well, I'm trying to be as nice as possible with you. It's kind of
trying
hard.
to be as nice as possible. Oh, Miss Perfect. God, do you really always have to talk like you're perfect? That voice, that voice annoys me. When you try, like, I'm just trying.
I love it. It's hilarious. You are so good at that. Oh my gosh.
That sound familiar?
No. No. Thank God. Thank heavens, I don't have relationships like that. Thank you.
Well, welcome to my world. I hear it every day.
Oh, God, help those people. Oh,
okay.
Please.
Well, let's do it the right way.
Let's do it the right way. Yes, let's show them the right way to do it.
Go ahead.
Let's see. Okay, we did the vacation trip. How about going to the grocery store?
You want to go? All right. I was going to do the same trip. We'll do the same. Let's do the same situation. So what's up? What do you want? You want to talk about something?
Yeah, let's go to the Kroger's.
I thought you wanted to go to Australia.
Oh, I thought we were gonna change it and do it the right way for going to like the grocery store.
You want to go to whatever? We can go to the grocery store.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
No. Let's. All right. You're right. You're right. Let's stick
Do
with
Australia.
Australia. Let's do it.
So
You're
you
right.
want to go to Australia?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I want to understand why Australia.
Well, I think it's beautiful out there. It looks from all of the videos and the photos that I've watched that the scenery is absolutely gorgeous and peaceful.
Okay, can we watch some of those together? I'd love for you to share that with me.
Oh, sweetie, I would love that. Yes.
Okay. Well, have you looked into it at all? And I'm sorry, I wish you had mentioned it earlier. I feel bad.
That's okay. I mean, I figured it would be a good idea for us to pack up for a couple of weeks and get away from all the hustle and bustle of work and relax and lay by the beach, go take a couple of hikes, go see what they have for food over there.
You've really been working hard. You've really been working hard, and getting all the way out to Australia. Wow. And I got to apologize because that's such a long, that's a long trip. And for you to want to get away that far away, you must have a lot going on. What's going on?
Aw, I really appreciate you asking.
Sure.
Yeah, I've been having a lot of stress at work, Pam at the office has been on my case a lot, and
Yeah.
I've been having a lot of stress and going in. Sometimes I don't even want to go into work.
Oh God. Wow, that sucks. I mean, what can I do other than Australia? We kind of, we're not as connected. I feel like I want to connect better with us.
Mm-hmm.
Where maybe the stress has come between us a little bit. And remember we had yogurt time where we talked every night?
I love yogurt time. Yeah.
Yeah, yogurt. We talked about some great things. Yeah. And I just remembered one of the things we talked about was Australia.
It was, yes. Oh, you remembered.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we should do it. And would just be like looking forward to that trip help you with your stress?
I'm already relieved thinking about it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. I can't wait. I want to have shrimp on the Barbie. I don't even know what a Barbie is. Wait.
We'll ask them.
Do they burn that doll? Like, do they put shrimp on that doll? Barbie?
Sweetheart, I don't know. We'll find out when we get there.
All right. Well, when do you want to go?
Oh, let's say we can go in about a month. Should give us enough time to plan everything right.
Okay, good. You gonna be okay on that long plane ride?
I'm gonna be great. Yes, as long as you're beside me, I'm gonna be super.
I'm there. All right. Well, why don't you? Well, let's pick a place together. Let's go online, pick a place together.
Okay.
We both like, and that'll be good. That'll be real good. The funniest part about this,
mm-hmm.
The people cleaning our house right now are hearing this and they're thinking, "Oh my God, how do I tell Sherry?"
That was priceless. I loved it. Thank you so much, John, for doing the role play. And by the way, that story that you told me about Sherry, she sounds like such a beautiful, kind soul.
She's awesome. She is one of the things I've learned from the Gottman Institute, and I'm gonna make myself look bad, but I believe probably the key to making relationships work is something called bids for connection.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna give you what the textbook is, and then I'm gonna give you a live example from my marriage, and you'll call me an idiot, I promise you.
Okay.
Because we're pretty stupid.
Hey, we can be stupid sometimes too. Okay, I'll raise my hand and say I've been stupid a number of times.
Well, see, this is where we're going to get into it, because research shows that 85% of men have a hard time accepting influence from their partner. Mm-hmm. So the woman is pretty smart. I mean, I know because my wife, was just bothering me wanting to go see Frozen 2. I'm not going with our granddaughter, Christina. And Christina, I will never say no to, but I'm not going to see some stupid Disney cartoon. I don't have time for that. And she kept saying it, and she goes, "No, Christina will like it, and I think you'll really like it." I'm like, no. And this is part of the bid thing, by the way, too. But this accepting influence, she said she'd really like it, and the thoughts in my head are, she doesn't even know me. She doesn't even. I hate cartoons. I'm a little bit older than cartoons. No, she doesn't know me. Well, I'm in the movie with my phone, texting myself lines that I use in my practice. If we're the ones falling apart, why am I the only one chasing your heart? I've seen dark before, but not like this. Fear is what can't be trusted.
Wow.
So I'm going, this is so good. But I know, I told you you'd like it. So, but these bids for connection, which I think are a key component to making a relationship work, is, and we make these every day. We make 10 of them a day, easy. And you can turn toward the bid, turn away from the bid, or turn against the bid. So we live on the water, and my wife, we're sitting in the living room, right, the windows out, looking at the water, and my wife sees a nice boat going by, and she says, "Oh, cool boat." Well, she's not saying that to hear herself talk.
Right.
She's saying it because she wants me to look at it. She wants to share that with me. She wants to connect on it.
Right.
And it's a subtle bid. There's subtle bids and there's blatant bids.
Well, can you share with us what is the bid that you're talking about? What does that mean?
Well, the bid is a bid for connection is something that we say or do, and I can probably give you examples that we want our partner to join in.
Okay.
Like,
okay.
There's a good movie on TV tonight. Bid. I'm hungry. Bid. Oh yeah, what do you want?
Okay, got it.
God, I'd like to go on, I want to go on vacation. Bid. I'm tired. Bid. Let's go to bed. That there's all, they're done subtly all the time. Bluntly, let's fool around is a blatant bid. So my wife says this, and turning toward, all I have to do is look at the water. That's all I have to do. Go, yeah, I really like that bid. Turning forward, turning away. She's cool boat going by, and I'm buried in my phone. I could give a shit about that boat. I could care less. I don't say anything bad, but I just no. And then turning against is I get mad at her and say, "Can't you see I'm trying to read a work email? I don't need to look at that stupid boat. God, you're always bothering me like that." And that's the textbook. Now here's the one where I'm an idiot. My wife says to me, ever since I was a little girl, I always wanted to go to Niagara Falls.
Yeah.
So all her life, she's wanted to do this. And she chooses me to do this with. Me. It's like the ultimate bid.
Yes.
Answer, went there as a kid, nothing special. And
walked my goodness, John.
Stairs.
Oh no.
It's okay.
No.
Walked up the stairs, literally walked away from her. I saw her shoulders shrug as I was going up the stairs. I got to the top of the stairs and I called myself an idiot.
Good.
Came back down and said, of course we'll go to Niagara Falls. So now what these bids do, that's so important.
Well, I want to first stop and say, that was a really brave and aware thing of you, like to realize, hey, I messed up. I need to stop right now and turn back around and not let this go any further. Right. That right there is a relationship saver.
Yeah, it's this like these bids that are so, I mean, again, we do them all the time.
Yes.
And also, not only was it a bid and a blatant bid,
Mm-hmm.
it was a dream.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest things that she could have. And yeah.
And and here's what a colleague of mine said, and it's so true. And this is what breeds resentment is colleagues said to me, John, it's really hard to recognize your partner's bids.
Yeah.
And the problem is, and I've seen it with hundreds of couples, as they're introduced to this concept, they're very aware of the bids they make. Yes. They're not aware of the bids their partner did. So, Adele, there's a great show on TV tonight. Adele, are you going to the grocery store later? You turn away. And so, but I'm sitting there going, I just made a bid, and she's talking about the grocery store.
Yep. So it's like your partner is flat out ignoring you.
Exactly. Now, the key to this whole concept is the bids do what's called fill your emotional bank account. And Adele, if we're married or in a relationship, and this relationship bank account has $100 in it. If you have all the money, because I've turned toward all your bids, you're naturally going to turn toward mine.
Yes, of course.
You're just going to share the wealth, so to speak. But if your account is empty and I'm making all these bids,
yes,
there's no way you're turning toward. You don't have any money. You don't have any money in your account. And couples I deal with often say, my account's like bankrupt. My bank's been closed. No, she doesn't turn toward my bids at all. They understand it. And it's another area, love maps, but bids. And I'll be real upfront with you. In my marriage, I made bids about sex.
Right.
She made bids about housework. Help, you got to help out with the housework more. And this sentence was said, no matter what I do, it's not going to be enough. Who do you think said that?
I would think you said that.
Both of us did.
Both of you. Okay.
So both our accounts were empty. So I was like, I'm not helping you with the house. I'm not fooling around with you. No. So this filling each other's emotional bank account by turning toward the bids is critical. It's critical. And most couples I see, like their bank accounts are below. And I'll tell you what the research says.
Yeah.
Couples who turn toward each other's bids 86% of the time are very happy.
Yeah.
Couples who turn toward each other's bids 33% of the time divorce or break up. And occasionally when couples aren't that bad or they think they're not that bad, I'll ask them, so you understand the concept? And they say, yeah, I get it. And I'll say, as a couple, how often do you think you turn toward bids? And the common answer is 50%. And I then say, you do realize you're a lot closer to 33 than you are 86. I get a little scared.
That's a good one. That's smart to kind of put that perspective on it.
So, but yeah, that bids are pretty important.
They sound extremely important.
Yes. Yeah. I honestly feel it's the number one thing. The dream is number one.
Yes.
This is number two. And you want to hear number three?
Of course.
Okay. And we'll probably role play a little bit, but
okay.
we'll get it in there. We're good at this. And the 5 love languages, and in the Gottman world, I prefer their world better because
Mhm.
they use something called love maps. Love maps are things we do for our partner that make them feel loved.
Mhm.
So, Adele, I can tell you 1,000 times a day, I love you.
Right.
You could care less.
Mhm.
No, what may hit your map is, making dinner,
Mhm.
thinking of you. If you're seeing you come in from a hard day and just listening to you, if you want to take a walk, turning toward your bids, will
Mhm.
probably hit your map. Who knows? Who knows? I mean, and I'll ask you,
Yeah.
because here we go. I don't know. And if I don't know what hits your map, I
Mhm.
will fail.
100% of the time.
I will fail. Yes.
Oh, yes.
And I may say, I tell you, I love you all the time.
That doesn't do it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. So what does your love map look like?
Mine, I love like touch on the shoulder or,
Okay.
on the face or on the leg or, a hug, holding hands. That's not my number one, but that's my number two. My number one is words of encouragement, words of affirmation, like saying that you look nice today. I like the outfit you're wearing, that kind of, compliments and these kind of uplifting, talk.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're the best.
I loved you, man.
Yeah, I listened. Imagine that.
Yeah.
You want to talk about listening?
Yes, I would love to talk about listening because that appears to be like a lot of people's issue. It takes people a lot of effort to listen, and the consequences for not listening are extreme.
Okay. And I'm going to show I'll try to make up a word. No, idiocracy is a word. I'll show my idiocy.
Okay.
um, I stress the importance of listening to understand instead of
Yes,
listening to reply.
of course.
And so, and there's a lot of open-ended questions we can ask to understand, to really truly understand. And listening to reply is, you say, oh, Adele, you're always complaining. I'm so tired. Listening to understand would be, you seem upset. What are you upset about?
Yeah.
Why does that make you upset? What else are you feeling? I mean, I have a list of 45 questions
Mm-hmm.
that they ask to
Mm-hmm.
paint a picture.
Yep.
You really paint a picture of why you feel the way you do. And
Mm-hmm.
the way I structure this is, it's no debate. It's ask, answer, ask, answer.
Mm-hmm.
And if I asked you these questions, you would literally paint a picture for me.
Yeah.
And then I would ask, okay, what is Adele trying to tell you, John? What
Mm-hmm.
is she trying to, and I do not interpret. Well, she's just telling me that she's always complaining. No, I didn't hear Adele say that word. She never said that word. So what is she trying to tell you?
Mm-hmm.
Then we'll talk about the interpretation. But let's first master that we listen to her.
Yes.
And last night, and
Mm-hmm.
I told this to a client, it was great. The woman was very self-critical of herself.
Mm-hmm.
And I forget the word because I wasn't. Here we go. I said this word, and as she was talking,
Mm-hmm.
I thought, okay, and I think maybe it was
I lost you. I can't hear you, John. Not yet. No.
come on, we're
Okay.
back.
You're
We're
back.
back.
You're back. You're back. You're back. Yes.
All right, I missed you. So I, as she's saying this thing about self-esteem, I'm thinking, what am I going to ask her? And, We ask her how long she had low self-esteem. What do you think contributes to her low self-esteem? All this. And this is in my head.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't hear a word she said while she was continuing to talk.
Yes.
And so as all I did was focus on this word.
Mm-hmm.
And as I caught myself doing it,
Mm-hmm.
I dropped it. And the reason I forget the word, it sounds like I wasn't listening,
Right.
is because I stopped everything in my head
Mm-hmm.
and just listened.
Yeah.
That's all. Just listened,
Mm-hmm.
not worried about another thing.
Yeah.
And then once they're done,
Mm-hmm.
we can try to gain a better understanding. But so many people, whether they think they're listening to understand,
Mm-hmm.
there's still something going on up there, and we have to clear that out.
Well, I know you've worked with a lot of couples and relationships. Like, what is one, let's say, relationship that stands out to you, that where they came and they had this major issue and then they had this amazing transformation?
I'm gonna brag.
Do it.
I won't say their names,
Of course.
but I admire this guy so much.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, when couples go through the same thing,
Mm-hmm.
I have them talk to him.
Yeah.
Infidelity, multiple infidelities.
Mm-hmm.
A baby was born, and the wife did not find out until the child was 1. This guy was an intimidating guy. He was a major drug dealer.
Oh boy.
Spent time in prison.
Mm-hmm.
And he was so intimidating. Rusty's not here, but my dog was a shelter dog.
Mm-hmm.
Rusty would hear his car door shut. He
Mm-hmm.
would run upstairs and hide under the bed.
Oh no.
He was that scared.
Wow.
And what happened was they got back on track.
Mm-hmm.
And as Masterson said to me once, John, you got to realize it's 6 months before they stop lying.
Mm-hmm. Can't hear you. Right at the juicy point. Right at the really juicy points. Still no.
Better?
Better. Yes, we're
Okay.
back. Yay.
I turned off my phone, so the Wi-Fi, and we just got new Wi-Fi, which really upsets me. But anyway, he, Masterson said, I don't know where you left off, but Masterson said about 6 months before they stopped lying, and this guy was lying for years.
Yeah.
And obviously, from my history, I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
But his were different. Lie's a lie, doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
And he ended up getting caught again.
Yeah.
And he was so narcissistic that getting caught, and when I say in the act, I mean in the act. And the wife and the husband of the woman he was with knocked on the hotel room door.
Oh boy. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It was bad. It was really bad.
Like it's turning out to be gonna be bad. Yeah.
Yeah. And he was so narcissistic. He gets up and leaves, goes back home, and takes a nap. So his wife comes home, walks into the bedroom, and he's like, "What are you doing? Why are you waking me up? I'm tired. I'm sleeping." And she said, "Get the fuck out."
Yep.
Or I'll call the police. Get the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
So he had to leave.
Of course.
And he called me and said, "John, I really need to see you. Is there any way?" And I said, of course. Come on in. He came in
Mm-hmm.
and he sat down and bawled like a baby, cried like a baby. Because everything in his life came crashing down at this
Mm-hmm.
moment. And Rusty, 2 floors up, heard him crying
Yeah.
and ran down the stairs and jumped in his lap.
That
And
is so sweet.
I'll send you a picture of it. It's
Oh,
incredible.
that
It's
is so
incredible.
sweet.
It is. I couldn't believe Rusty did it. And they're best friends today. They
That's
love each other. Rusty gets all happy when he sees him.
mm-hmm.
And I said, and I'd never said this to him before, and
Mm-hmm.
it's not really, as a coach, it's not really, you can't say it, but I
Mm-hmm.
was like, I worked with this Masterson guy who had, founded the basic narcissistic personality disorder theory and
Mm-hmm.
how to treat it. And this guy wasn't educated.
Yeah.
He never went to college. Barely, I don't think he graduated high school. He got a GED.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, look, if you want your wife back, you're going to have to know Masterson better than I do.
Yeah.
And he said, I'll do it. I'll do it.
Oh.
And we came to, we'd meet every week. And one day I get a call, and his wife had a restraining order on him.
Oh man, she was serious.
She was very serious. You don't mess with her. And, so they would talk, and she would allow him to come to the house. The restraining order actually worked for them in a very good way, because he would go over, they would talk at the house.
Mm-hmm.
And if there was something that upset her,
Yep.
she just said, you have to leave now. And he would
Yeah.
say, okay, I understand. And he would leave. And I don't know, about 4 or 5 months later,
Mm-hmm.
I got a call from her.
Yeah.
And she sounded upset and said, John, what have you done to my husband? I'm like, I'm sorry. What are you talking about? I'm just trying to help. She goes, he's a completely different person.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? She goes, he's like an alien. And I'm like, come on, you got to tell me, John, he listens to me.
Mm-hmm.
He accepts all his responsibility of everything he's done. He just every day he makes me the priority, I yelled at him and everything, and he doesn't do any of what he used to do anymore.
Mm-hmm.
He's completely different.
Mm-hmm.
And so he changed, and
Sounds like it.
he truly did. And after a year
Mm-hmm.
of that change, they renewed their vows and got married again. And as a matter of fact, I talked to him 2 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
Talked to someone where infidelity is a factor, and he said, look,
Mm-hmm.
this is what you have to do. If you want your wife, this is what you're going to have to do. So, and he also said, you can call me anytime.
That's really cool.
He has nothing to gain, and financial, no way, but he truly believes. I mean, he's a different person. I mean,
did he ever give you the reason why he cheated on his wife so many times?
Because he could.
Because he could.
Yeah. He truly didn't think it was wrong, and in terms of understanding how he grew up and everything.
Right.
His father was a serial cheater.
Oh boy.
So his uncle was a serial cheater.
Oh.
I mean, one of his uncles was a pimp.
So he grew up thinking that it's okay to treat women that
Yes.
way.
Yeah, you're not respect. Are you kidding me? No. I do whatever I want.
Yeah.
And he's a completely different person. And
transformed. Completely transformed.
Yeah, I really truly admire him for what he's done the work. And this may be unfair to say, and it's only my experience. but in, well, I'll just say it.
Hmm.
Experience is that men don't do the work they, until it's really serious.
Right.
And the um, what they do is when I don't worry about couples I see, I worry about the ones I don't.
Yeah.
And when they get engaged in this process, you know, I I can see if the man really wants to do the work. Sometimes they'll do it.
Hmm. Can't hear you. Okay.
4, 3.
We're back. We're
All
good.
right, all right. So I missed you again. So what I find is that the there's my model of doing this, and that's probably important to talk about is, um, and this will sound crazy, but I meet with them once a week for a month.
Hmm.
Infidelity is a little different animal,
Yes.
a little different. If it's connection, it takes 6 years
Hmm.
to come to coaching, counseling, anything like that. It
Yeah.
takes 6 years of a problem, what research shows. So um, now and I tell every couple I deal with that within 4 weeks, things should be significantly better.
Hmm.
And I describe this situation as, look, this is like walking into the movie theater and
Hmm.
you're watching the movie of a relationship that's a shit show.
Yeah.
So as they watch the movie and that 4 week mark, let's say it's halfway through,
Hmm.
is it still a shit show? Or are they starting to get along better? Are they starting to connect more? Because if you were watching that movie and halfway through it's
Hmm.
still a shit show, you'd get up and walk out.
Yeah.
I mean, and keep in mind, we're talking probably about 12 hours.
Hmm.
It's not 3 months. It's intensive. And also, they have the opportunity to call me at any time. So it's a lot more time than, just,
Guarantee it.
yeah, it's a lot more. So, um, and my experience is the ones who want to do it,
Hmm.
the success rate is, I would say, well over 90%.
Wow.
Well,
Impressive.
and when they follow this model, and it's so 4 weeks, and then we'll go to once every 2 weeks.
Hmm.
So we'll do that a couple times. If they're still showing okay, then we'll go to once a month.
Hmm.
That goes well. Do that maybe a couple times. We'll go to every other month. And I see some couples once a
Hmm.
year, twice a year, maybe.
Yeah.
And I was told in early training,
Hmm.
Dr. McGee, I'll never forget him.
Yeah.
22 years old, Adele. Um, and I know I feel so old. I'm 28 now. I mean, but
Hmm.
my liver's 28.
Nice. Good one.
So, which I guess makes my wife a cougar, but um, so he says to me, John, marriage should be like presidential elections.
Hmm.
Every 4 years, you should decide whether or not you're going to reelect each other.
Yes, I love it.
I loved it. I'm like this idealistic kid, and I'm going, Dr. Mejia, that's terrible. Marriage is for life. And he goes, think about it, John. If you were up for reelection right now, do you know you'd get her vote? Well, I don't know. What would you do to get her vote? So and I really admire and agree with this, is that you constantly have to work on it.
That's true. You do. Absolutely.
So
We change. People change. We grow. Things happen.
yes,
Hmm.
yes. So, but yeah, so but yeah, that couple they stay.
Oh, you stopped.
Not back.
Back. technical difficulties. It happens.
Can you edit this, by the way?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna just leave it. I'm not gonna mess with that. That's fine.
Okay. Okay. So fire away.
Well, before we go, this has been amazing. If you could leave everybody with since you're a relationship genius, leave us with 3 of your top tips for a great relationship.
Rituals of connection, I call it yogurt time for us. Every night, my wife and I share yogurt bed, and we just talk about anything. No TV, no phones. We just talk. The average relationship, the average couple, I'm sorry, spends 35 minutes a week talking about their relationship. 5 minutes a day. Double that to 10 intentionally, and we'll see how good you do. You'll get much closer. So rituals of connection, I'm showing my age. Johnny Cash, the country singer, once said, he was asked to define paradise. And he said, this morning, having a cup of coffee with my wife.
Aww. So
that ritual he did every morning, he looked forward to it. You know, we have yogurt time, we go on a boat, and we take these sunset cruises, and our rituals. That's important.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, authenticity and being you is for both you to have the courage to truly be yourselves and be safe enough to be vulnerable to each other. I learned in my practice that I was, preaching authenticity and, vulnerability. And there I was in a suit and tie. I'm not a suit and tie guy.
Yeah.
So I've worked with some pretty high profile people, very high profile people you've seen on TV, people in Washington, and people, professional athletes. And I'll just say, like, a neurosurgeon comes in. I worked with one of, he's got a lot of them. So it's one of Elon Musk's employees. He's got thousands of them. So, but a high level employee, and I'm wearing my hoodie and he comes in. So, it's like, this is me. And, so that authenticity is real important, to have that courage. And to, the third, I would say, in tough times, because every couple is going to have tough times, they're going to have arguments. Search for the positive perspective. There's positive in everything. You're talking to someone who had a liver transplant, almost died. Well, actually did die a few times. I was on life support twice. I had seizures where I flatlined. Had cirrhosis. Cirrhosis was the best thing that ever happened to me. Who says that?
Nobody I've ever heard say that.
Yeah, it was. We're not talking if I don't get sick.
Yeah.
So in terms of, and I'll tell you that one time, I got blood work back, and it was the worst it's been in like 8 years. I was furious. And in training this positive perspective, I walked right by my wife. She said, "What's wrong?" And I said, "Nothing. No, don't talk to me. Don't talk to me." And I was at the top of the stairs looking out a window, and I was like, "Come on, John, positive, positive." And I said to myself, that's bullshit. There's nothing positive to this. My liver's going down now. This is the wrong time. We're not going to be able to go on the boat. Terrible. Start walking down the stairs. I'm thinking, wait a second. I'm really lucky to have plenty of doctors, 100 doctors that I've seen. I could call any one of them right now and have them explain to me what's going on with this blood work, because it took a long time to get it back. That could be a false positive, this and that. You know what? I don't need to call them. If my liver's going down now, good. I'll be on that boat in June. All right. This is good. This is happening. To find that positive perspective took me walking down the stairs, seconds. And the only thing was, I was off a little bit. I'll be on that boat in June. Well, June 1st, I was on the table getting my son. So, finding the positive perspective in it all is so important.
I love it.
There's a reason you're together. There's a reason you're with this partner. When we negatively scan, we miss, research data says we miss 50% of the positive that someone's doing.
Yeah.
I could sit there and back to our role play and look at the negative of Australia.
Yes.
She's always wanting something. It's never enough.
Yeah.
She doesn't even know what's going on with me. Negative. Or I could sit there and say, wow, she really cares that much to want to spend time with me.
Yeah.
After I haven't treated her well, she wants to take this trip with me. I'm the luckiest man in the world.
I love that perspective.
It's a good, there's positive in everything.
I agree with that, John. Completely agree with that.
So, but that's it.
That's it. It sounds like your top of the stairs is your epiphany area.
Yeah, I look out that window literally every day and think about that.
Yeah.
Every day I like, that's my spot. Look out, it looks at the water, and it's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool that you have that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Very lucky. Very lucky.
You are. And we are all very lucky to have you on the show.
Thank you. Anyone who's hearing this, call me anytime.
I'll make sure to put all of your information in the video. If anybody wants to get a hold of you or talk to you for any reason, they're more than welcome to. I'll make sure all of your contact information is in the video text above.
Now, Adele, I'm going to embarrass you.
Do it. I love it.
Last time, and I think I told you, the last time I did this, it was supposedly in front of 1 million people. And I was like, you gonna send me the link, or what are you doing with this? Are you putting it on LinkedIn, or what are you doing?
It's going to be in the group. It'll be in the Facebook group.
Oh, cool. All right. All right.
I'm going to put it on there. And then I also have a YouTube channel that I've created for all the coaches, and it's going to be on YouTube. So I'm going to put it there, and then
if you want, I may be able to, I'm sure I have a client that could edit it. Take out the lapses. If you want, I don't care.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Okay.
But I want to thank you for being on the show for Coaches United, and I really appreciate your time. And this has been an incredible interview.
Yeah, thank you. It's my dream.
It's your
right,
dream.
Mom? Mom, did I say anything stupid?
You said all the right things, John. You said all the right things.
Thank you. So did you.
Thank you. And to everybody watching, catch us on the next episode.
All right. Thanks.